Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bazil. Welcome to Gigantic Theory. This show is going to be theory crafting each of the heroes that are on the Gigantic website because we now have tooltips about them. So I enjoy theory crafting a hell of a lot, and I was really excited when they announced that hey, we're gonna have all these cool tooltips for the heroes on our website. I was like, sweet, I can like start looking at what they're going to do and possibly just go crazy. And just a future reference here for those watching this video in 2015, the theory crafting is usually 100% wrong and never accurate at all. So don't take any of this for face value because it's probably wrong. Yeah. So I'm going to start with Imani. And Imani is a sniper. Her description reads, sneaky sniper. If you cannot find Imani, you're losing the battle. If you're in her crossbow sights, you've already lost. So right off the bat, we've already established her as a sneaky sniper sneaky sniper. That's so clever, it rhymes. As a sneaky sniper that has the ability to hide and really kind of stay away from the battle, which, as a sniper, let's be honest, that's a great idea because you don't want to give away your position when you're sniping. Plus, she has a giant-ass crossbow, which no one could physically actually lift, but hey, it's a video game. Reasons are out the window. Technically it's Nintendo logic because, hey, whatever. Honestly, I think her crossbow is amazing, and I want a replica, please. Now, I'm going to go over each of the abilities and then kind of talk what I think that they could do and their possible relationship to each other and just some ideas and thoughts on the skills themselves. So her left mouse button, left mouse button, I was going to give it an abbreviation, but then I sound like a stupid person, so we won't do that. Left mouse button is called Auto Bolts. Fire a burst at medium range. Now, this is an interesting concept to me because they're not giving the player the full range of a sniper for an auto attack. This is a medium range burst, it looks like. So it looks like that this might be a shotgun style of weapon for the auto attacks. And a couple of the other roles kind of play a pivotal role at dealing more damage. So you could possibly build her as like a roaming kind of like mid-range sniper that doesn't stand or perch all day long, but is able to fire and kind of fend off foes as she sees fits. So it's really interesting that this says medium range and not long range or not max range or max distance or however a sniper would normally be worded. I really think that that's an interesting way to worry. Yeah, it's an interesting way to word that. Also, fires a burst is something really interesting as well because, as I said before, she could have some sort of a shotgun mechanic to that crossbow, which crossbow that's a shotgun that's a sniper rifle, why not? That's awesome. What a great idea. The next ability is her right mouse button, which is called Silent Scope. Zoom in for a deadly single... let me read that again. Zoom in for deadly single shots. If you wait 3 seconds before firing, you deal maximum damage. So this is a typical sniper ability. You zoom in, and typically in other FPS games, you either charge up, like an Unreal Tournament, the sniper rifle, you could actually charge up and deal a lot of damage. Same with a lightning gun, you could also charge up and deal maximum amount of damage. Now, what they don't actually say is which part of the body deals maximum damage. Is it, if you shoot the hand, you deal 100 damage. If you shoot the head, you deal 100 damage. Is there headshot recognition in this game? Is there something that allows the player to go, okay, I'm going to shoot at the head kind of hitbox area and deal even more maximum damage. So the wording of this is not specific, but we definitely could look into several ways of actually taking this farther beyond what the script says. And that's kind of the whole point of firing a theory crafting video here. Also, waiting 3 seconds. This also tends to be like a holding your breath or steadying your crosshair to kind of compensate for recoil. So instead of that kind of cheesy gimmick, which I never quite understood because it's a video game, just let me shoot people. This actually is kind of more like a charge mechanic. So you wait 3 seconds before firing, and bam, you get max damage. Again, we don't know where the max damage actually relies on, or which hitbox deals the most damage. And I really hope there is a headshot mechanic in this game that really rewards players that are just really, really good at sniping, because it really sounds like a lot of fun. And if that's the case, yeah, I know I'll probably be playing this hero a lot because I have an FPS background, and who doesn't like to snipe people in the face? I love to snipe people in the face. It's a lot of fun. So moving on to her next ability, which is her Q key. And not Q from like James Bond, Q as in keyboard. Anyway, moving on. It's called Cycle Ammo. Tap once to activate Boombolt for extra damage. Tap twice to activate a Frostbolt that slows the target. This is actually a really, really cool ability, mainly because there's an ammo system in this game, which could actually tell me a lot about this game. We have really never seen a effective ammo system used in any game other than I honestly can't think of one. I think League of Legends has 1 or 2 heroes that uses different forms of it. You know what? No, I think if I remember right, Smite uses an ammo system with a character. I honestly don't remember which one it is because it's been a long time since I've played that game well. But this is really cool because this also can go into the creation of other heroes wanting to use an ammo system, but for, obviously it wouldn't be called ammo, it would be called, super sparkly varied pixel dust ammo cycle ability. I don't know. But this can translate into other heroes while they're creating heroes for their hero pool, which would really, really be cool. But going back to what her abilities do, and that's what theorycrafting does, is kind of spark your ideas for other really cool ideas. But hey, anyway, so the Boombolt is extra damage. Now, this could signify some sort of explosion because it says boom. So boom, I assume, is going to be like some sort of explosive round. So this could imply possible knockback. This could imply a possible kind of like AoE damage. You could set your targets on fire because, boom, explosion, fire. Unless it's like a sound wave boom. I mean, if she's firing sound wave bullets, that's awesome. I'm okay with that too. Maybe they could have some sort of bullet that like deafening blast bullet. That's technically from Dota, so that's I guess not as creative as I first thought it was. But I mean, this ammo system could definitely be expanded to her having poison bullets or some sort of bullets that, I don't know, fire some sort of net or something that pins targets together or pins them on a wall and then kind of allows her to line up a headshot or something. I don't know. I think that it would be really cool to see the ammo expanded, but a boom bolt, calling it that, is really neat because it really kind of opens up the floor for what this kind of ammo type could really be. But I think the most important aspect of this cycle ammo is the slow, or the Frostbolt as they call it. And this is something that you typically don't see on a character that has super long range or the ability to stay in the back of the battlefield and just kind of pick off people. So I do think that the cycle ammo is probably going to be working on her auto bolts, which is going to be her left mouse button, which is that medium range. It doesn't say what this actually is used on. All it says is tap once to activate for this, tap twice to activate for that. So that could very well mean that Imani has 2 different styles of fighting. It could mean that one of her styles focuses on the medium range and just kind of bursting characters down or cutting them around, and then the other style could be extremely long range insta-gib style of combat. Now, I'm really curious to know if cycle ammo actually works with the silent scope ability, because then that would mean she's able to pull off some really, really nifty kind of kiting aspects for her team while she's in the back. And also, if she gets in trouble, she's able to use the Frostbolt at medium range with her auto bolts if that is activatable with the left mouse button. So it'll be interesting to see what this ability is actually activatable onto which of the two attacking abilities she has. So I look forward to seeing that. The next ability I want to go over is Smoke Bomb, which is her E ability. And this is an escape, it looks like. It's called Smoke Bomb. I think I just said that. Launches yourself and become invisible for 2 seconds. Now, the invisible part is not really a, oh, wow, that's really cool. It's the launch yourself part that really kind of had me scratching my head. So I thought about it for a while. And there's a couple ways that they could do this. They could do this a directional launch where whichever way your character is facing or whichever way your cursor is facing, then that's where you're going to launch. Now, it doesn't say if the launch is vertical. It doesn't say if it's in an angle. It doesn't say if it's random. So this could very well be a lot of different things. Another way that they could do this is just like a random launch. It's you're in trouble, you hit your E, it fires you at a 75.77 degree angle, repeating, of course, to the left, and then you go invisible. Or it could just launch you straight up, and your enemies are just kind of waiting for you at the bottom and going, she's invisible right here, right? Okay, punch, and then, she dies. So it could be, it's a very vague description of launch yourself and become invisible. So this is possibly a skill that is going to be, I think, in the higher skill cap range when it comes to this hero. Mainly because if you're able to control where you launch yourself, you bet for sure that Motiga is going to have little hiding nooks and crannies on their map for different characters to jump onto and use their escapes or use whatever movement abilities that they give the characters. So this really kind of opens that up for discussion and opens that up for some really cool theory crafting discussions. So I look forward to kind of reading what you guys think about this smoke bomb. The invisible thing is interesting, and I think it's a smart idea, especially kind of for like a sniper, because obviously she's probably not going to have a lot of health or a lot of defense because she's not meant for close range combat. But then could be wrong. The medium range auto attacks definitely have some value there, and if she is indeed able to burst people down and kite with that cycle ammo, then the invisibility might just help out for that and help out for kiting and really kind of play to more of like a run and gun kind of play style. So that'll be interesting to see how Smoke Bomb kind of plays into relation with cycle ammo and auto bolts. For some reason, I can't say that fast. Silent Scope kind of comes into play a little bit if you're able to smoke bomb yourself and then zoom in and shoot. Like in Call of Duty, you're able to jump up, scope in, and fire somebody in the head, which was considered really, really, really realistic, and that totally happens in war because you can totally jump up with a Barrett 50 cal, fire, and not blow your shoulder off and possibly your face. But, that's realism for you. But it's a video game. Who cares? She has a giant crossbow that's awesome and apparently can launch giant ice bolts of death. So, yay! Her next ability is In the Zone, and I take this for their ultimate ability or heroic ability if you're used to Heroes of the Storm. And this is a really cool ability. The description reads, prep your gun for a powerful blast. Left mouse button fires your gun, and tapping F, again, cancels the skill. Now, when I first read this, I instantly was like, okay, so the only time you can use it is at the medium range, the left mouse button. So that technically is the way it reads, but if you read a little bit more into it, it just says left mouse button fires your gun. It doesn't say what's it firing. It just says it fires your gun. So you very well could use this in the Silent Scope ability mode. Now, one thing that I'm not sure if I mentioned or not is Silent Scope. We don't know if it's a hold, if it's a hold and then release, and you wait 3 seconds, you get some sort of UI notification. It's like, ding, fries are done type of thing, and then you're able to deal damage. So if this is able to be used in Silent Scope, the combo I was thinking of is In the Zone, cycle ammo to Boom Bolt, Silent Scope, wait 3 seconds, and then just insta-gib your target. Now, if in the zone is an actual buff and actually is used for some sort of like, it only counts for one shot, then Silent Scope would probably be the way to use this. But if it's a buff that only lasts for X amount of seconds, honestly, I would say the medium range burst from auto bolts would probably be the way to go, especially if you're kind of like close range and able to confidently hit your target. That would probably deal a significant amount of damage when in the zone is activated. Now, it doesn't say whether it's a buff or like a one-time activatable shot skill. All it says is tapping again cancels the skill. So my guess is you can line up your shot, use this ability, but it not actually go off, cancel it, and you very well could have an alt that's actually toggleable, which is super awesome for some sort of like really kind of like range-focused character. Normally when you do an alt, you do it, all your cooldowns are blown, and you're like, well, crap, I just wasted that. Sniper comes to mind. Like, if you try and snipe somebody, they activate a certain spell or someone gets in the way, you're like, oh, well, I just wasted that. So it looks like with Imani, you're able to activate it, really kind of think, can I actually hit my target, or is this not the right time to use it? And if it's not, you could very well cancel it. So that tooltip is really interesting and kind of gives us some really cool ways to kind of combo things. The last kind of combo I was thinking is using Silent Scope in preparation with the Frostbolt, and that could really be useful when your team is team fighting and your assassins are trying to grab. Assassin obviously is probably Trip. I'm assuming Trip, and I think Taito is probably an assassin too, just based off of his kit and kind of reading what he does. And we'll go over those two heroes in a later video, but kind of helping those two heroes kind of reach their target a little bit easier. Because right now it really does not look like anyone has an overabundance of crowd control abilities, just based on all the tooltips and everything that the Motiga is willing to share with us right now. So I think that we're going to have a lot of CC kind of based off of slows, which is really interesting to do rather than just make your game like a heavy stun style game. It looks to be like a lot of the CCs will be slow, and it's interesting to put a slow on a hyper range character like Imani. And if Cycle Ammo works with Silent Scope, that's a huge buff to your team. And you're like, okay, I need to pick off this target. Can you slow him? Sure. Boom. Silent Scope in. Cycle your ammo. Bam. He's slowed. Plus the extra damage. And if Hitshot is a Hitshot, if Headshot is an actual thing in this game, that's even more damage, a possible kill to yourself, and you've just helped your teammate, you know, in the whole kill-death ratio, however important that is. So Imani looks to be like a really, really cool hero if you have a kind of an FPS background. And wow, this video went way longer than I thought it would. But you know what? That's theory crafting for you. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed nerding out with me for this gigantic theory video. And there's going to be more to come. I hope you guys enjoyed it. End card. Oh, wait. I want to talk about something also real quick. If you enjoyed this video, let me know what hero you want me to do next. Let me know what kind of theory crafting you guys have come up with, Imani. And, yeah, keep being awesome. Woo! End card.